Okay guys, so this is going to be a video about how to do a stihl carb rebuild with replacing the primer bulb and all the gaskets. And so let's begin. I ordered the kit. It was kind of expensive. It was like $29 for all of this stuff with the primer bulb. So now what I would generally do is take, I don't know if you can see this. Let's just take off this top piece first. The main reason why I'm doing this is because it wasn't priming. This primer bulb was never filling up with fuel. So hopefully this is probably, if you have that symptom, going to be the first thing you're going to want to do is just throw a carb kit into it. What I did notice is there was some air being pumped out from between this plastic piece and here every time I pumped it. So I don't know, I'm thinking maybe this whole block is plugged up, but it only costs about $10 to replace that as well if you need to. So let's just remove these screws really quick here. I didn't see any cracks on this primer bulb, so I think we're going to replace it anyways. Okay. I don't know if I'm getting a good shot here. I hope I am. I'd already removed it because it's a good idea to remove it and take it into your shop so that they can get you the proper carb kit, right? So they need the numbers. You could just write the numbers, but it's easy enough just to take it in with you. And so now there's a metal plate that holds that primer bulb. You can separate that from the primer bulb, and I'll place it up over here on my new tray. And then you have this plastic piece, which has like probably check valves in it as well. And that separates, this is also the diaphragm that actuates the needle. So that's what this looks like. Okay, and so that would go down like that. And it's pretty easy. You'll see there's a little hole here, and that needs to line up there with that hole. And so this is actually it's not extremely hard, but it feels a little worn out, a little tired. So we'll replace that. And then in here, this is the needle with the spring and the pin and the needles here. And so we remove this. I don't know if you can see that. Am I in the screen? Okay, so I hope I've been in the screen, but I'll bring it down a little bit there. And you just remove that, and sometimes you don't need to remove that screw all the way. And so it just pops up like that, and you have to be really gentle. And you take that needle, and this does move. And so you place that, you can place that in the tray if you have a tray. And you have a little spring, and you place that in the tray as well. And then you take that needle, and it just drops out into your hand. And that's what that looks like, and you put it on your tray. Now, we'll have to look at the kit. I'm pretty sure that comes with that. And so at this point, you have the lever, the needle, and you've left that screw in there. It's not going to fall out, so we've left that in there. And that's what that's going to look like, okay? And at this point, generally what I will do is, it's running, so I'm going to just spray it with some carb clean, and you can assemble the new parts into there. But because of the video, let's just this can be a little tricky. Usually you want to do one side at a time so you don't get confused, but it's pretty easy. You're not going to get confused if you just take your time and keep track of everything. So it's pretty easy. Am I in the shot? Yeah, okay, I'm in the shot. Good. And you just remove these screws. It might be easier just to use the screwdriver the whole way. Okay, now there's going to be more components on this side. And so when you take this off, there's going to be the cap. And you can put that in your tray. There's going to be a spring and a little plastic piece. And then you're going to have this whole piece will come off at this point. Okay, you can see that. And we're going to replace this seal. And we're going to replace this, it's basically the fuel pump, basically. So now in here, let's grab one of these picks. There we go. Okay. In here, there's a screen. And usually if it's really dirty, that's going to be plugged with sawdust and stuff like that. And that's the inlet. So that's what screens the fuel coming from your tank. And you can remove that quite simply by just taking that into the screen and pulling it out. Now you don't want to use the pick when you reinstall it because you'll damage the new one. And the kit comes with, you probably don't want to take a look at the kit and make sure, but I know this time that there is one of those in there. And so now at this point, where the fuel comes in, there's a hole right through to where the needle is, right? So I can tell it's daylight, so it's fairly clean. At this point, am I on the shot? Okay, good. At this point, you can also take these caps off the needles. There's a special tool that you can use that pries them off, but I can use a screwdriver. You're supposed to replace these every time. Oh, come on now. That one came off, no problem. Alright, I'm not going to use those unless... I'll probably actually end up ordering new caps because I don't know if these have springs on them, so they could get out of adjustment. Now, I don't take them both out at the same time. I don't want to mix them up, so I'll just take one out at a time. I have the adjustments, what they're supposed to be set at, and they're marked. It might be hard to reference where it is, but on the carb, looking at it, there'll be an H right here, and that's for the high-low. So that's for the high jet. That high jet will also be the furthest one away from the engine, from the intake. If you get a little confused there. Okay, so there is no spring on this, so I think those caps are quite important. So at this point, I'm gonna have to stop the video and go grab my brake clean once I have some. I have a little bit, and you're just gonna want to blow through this hole. And I'll put the jet back in and seat it lightly. And I'll take this one out, remove it, and blow the carb cleaner through that one. So I'll do that right now. Alright. And you just bring it back in until it's lightly seated. You want to be careful not to strip it or cross thread it when you're starting it. So always start it by hand or lightly with a screwdriver if you have experience. Okay, now is this in the line? Okay. And you just back this high jet out. And we'll blow some brake clean for this one as well. Make sure that you have flow. You want to be careful, probably wear glasses. because it could shoot out another hole and get you. But okay, now again, put it in the hole. Start it by hand, and just lightly bring it down until it just lightly touches and seats. You'll feel it. Alrighty. Okay. Let's see how we're doing with this one. Okay, so we're both seated now. Now at this point, I'm just going to just kind of put some brake clean in there, and I'll do this over the bucket, but I just put brake clean everywhere. Careful with the eyes, and just make sure I'll blow through every hole. Make sure there's fluid coming through. Depending on how dirty it is, if that screen is dirty, you'll want to clean it more. Okay. And so now you have the carb out screws, and now what we're going to do is, just put this stuff aside. We have the screws, we can leave those. And okay, so this one is just some gaskets. Hopefully I don't run out of time on my camera. Oh, it's already open. Okay, good. Okay, so we got this gasket. I'll just leave it on this cardboard. There's another one. And here's the carb kit for the KM130R. Oh, I'll blur out my number there. Alright, so just carefully cut it open. And, okay, good. Alright. Just be careful you get everything. There's the screen still in there. Okay. Let's put that over there for now. So now you have all the parts sitting on the bench. I like to organize them, just make sure I know what I'm doing. Lots of little parts here. And so this can be the intimidating part of it. So what we'll do first is just take this off. Let's see, do I have this one? I think they do it just a bit different. Okay, yeah, I get what they're doing. So this one will go on the top, this one will go down first. Okay? So just put this little spring back in this little plastic piece. Make sure it's clean. Alright. And just get it in there. This can be very difficult. But I want to show you guys so you know what you're doing. Something just doesn't seem right. There we go. Just make sure that these screws are nice and tight. We don't want to overdo it and strip them out. That wouldn't be good either. Right. So that time is good. So now it's time to put that spring in there. This can be quite tedious. I'm going to have to use some smaller tools. Just get that down in there. Everybody has to do it their own way, so because it is, but you have to get an end result. So good. So now this is probably not going to work out that great. We'll take that spring, we'll get it down in there. So. All right. Just has to go in there properly. So all the songs. So take that screw right out. As soon as you start struggling like that, you need to back that screw out of there. And honestly, you may struggle with this as well. So just take your time. And if you do get frustrated, go do something and come back. There we go. I'll get that down in there. Just unless everything threads out, like it probably will, but just keep your finger on there so it doesn't, that string doesn't pop back out. There we go. Just take it all the way down. Good. Now at this point, just want to make sure that everything is functioning properly. That spring is in there, the needle's going up. Looks good. At this point, you want to take your screwdriver and make sure that is snug, not too tight this time. Check it again. That's looking really well, really good. So now at this point, take this diaphragm, it goes only one way. Good. diaphragm. It only goes one way on there. Then we install the gasket on top of it. And then, so that's looking good. And this one goes one way as well. Just like so. Okay. And then you install the new primer bulb if you're installing a new one. It's a good idea. And it's very snug. The old one wasn't snug, so I can tell that is a good thing right off the bat. Make sure those screws will line up quite a bit. But just bring it into place. Shit. Am I forgetting anything? Just get those screws started. Alright. Good. And then you just want to cinch them down nice and snug. Not too tight, like I said with the other ones, but not too loose either. That's the right one. That's what I have to do. There we go. Alright, back together. Okay guys, so at this point, everything's put back together. And the high and low jet are seated. I have the numbers down here. The low is set at 2.5. So we'll set that right now. 2.5. And the high set 4. 1. Let's start over again that one. You can do this while it's on the machine as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. So that's set up. First of all, we'll grab the machine that's over here. Is that in the shot? Alright, cool. And at this point, you can slip that new gasket on there. I'll watch it, but it should just slip in there. I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay, so that bottom crankcase vent is on. I don't know if you can see that very well at all. But you just slide that connection up on there, and this one is different lengths, so they only go one way. So a few lines are on. Slip that new gasket on there. Probably hook up that throttle cable we're using right at this point. There we go. And so that is working out nicely. Good. And now, this is the filter cover, as you can see. This will slip down onto the tank vent. It's quite, you'll know that which one it is. Okay. I just push that on like that. Quite simple. Okay. Grab the screws. And start beginning to. Okay. So when that started, they're 8 mil. That's the socket you'll need. Okay. I believe this one started as well now. It's quite tight in there. And you just want this as well. And you pick the only can see them just the 2 8 mil nuts in there. It's pretty snug. They can take a bit more torque than those little screws we were working with. Now we put the filter back in. Okay, I'll just go over everything and check, make sure everything's good. And we got new caps. My phone is going to die quite soon. Where is that tool? Alright, good. Got fuel in there. Alright. And it is working. I'll take off the tripod and show you. That is now. There's fuel in there now. It's not much fuel in light, but it's definitely fuel in there now. So that's cool. I'll bring it back in a second and we'll fire this bad boy up. Let's just do a quick start on this bad boy. Choke it. Alright, good sign.